And now I want to talk a little bit about grounding. Okay, I'll have a sip of coffee because it brings us perfectly to grounding. Because grounding is the thing that allows all of this to work. So, yeah, you can be empathic, intuitive, psychic, medium, sensitive, but if you're not grounded, you'll constantly feel unstable, overwhelmed, and unclear. And grounding is how we come back into our bodies, back into the present. It is how we reset after holding space and how we prepare to connect with spirit safely and clearly. So let's go deeper. That will be so much fun. So I want to talk about grounding. Let's cover some basics because I truly believe in some of the basics. There's so much wisdom and we sometimes take things for granted or we overlook things. So what is grounding and why is it so important? What is grounding and why is it so important? Grounding is the energetic and spiritual practice of connecting yourself, your awareness, your presence, and your energy back into your physical body and into the earth's field. But let's go deeper than that. When we say connect to the earth, we are not talking about some metaphor. The earth itself has a measurable frequency, a natural electromagnetic pulse called the Schumann resonance, and it vibrates around 7.83 hertz, which is in the same range as alpha brain waves, the state we enter when we meditate, relax deeply, or feel intuitively open. Now think about that for a second. When we're calm, aligned, and deeply present, our brain waves sync up with the Earth's frequency. And that's not a coincidence. That's our natural state, and that's where healing, clarity, and spiritual connection thrive. But most of us aren't operating there. We're scrolling, we're multitasking, we're absorbing other people's emotions, we're overthinking, we're running energy through our upper chakras, especially as intuitives, mediums, empaths, and we are constantly up and out of our bodies. And that's where grounding comes in. Grounding brings us back down into our breath, into our bodies, and into alignment with that calm, stabilizing air frequency. It helps us release static, emotional residue, energetic noise, and all the things we pick up throughout the day. Spiritually speaking, grounding anchors our light body to our physical form so that we can actually receive and interpret intuitive information clearly for those who are connecting with the other side or who are working with the energy, because you might be working psychically as well. And you don't have to do it professionally. You can be doing it for your own purposes. So grounding, well, when we are ungrounded, even our psychic messages they become muddled. We can misinterpret what spirit is saying, confuse anxiety with intuition, or become overwhelmed by other people's energy. So how do we ground? Let's talk about it. How do we ground? You ground by intention and visualization. You can imagine roots growing from your feet deep into the earth. You can ground yourself by touch, walking barefoot, placing your hands on the soil, holding stones. You can ground yourself by breath, slowing everything down so you can hear your own energy again, or even tuning to the beat of your heart. I find it really grounding. And then you can ground yourself, for instance, through food, water, salt, and time in nature. You ground by remembering that you belong here, in this body, on this earth, in this moment. That's why it matters, because as spiritual beings, especially if you're a medium, a healer, a sensitive, you need both. You need the wings and the roots. Without roots, we fly off. With roots, we rise and stay steady. And someone asked me, one of my students asked me last week, we were talking about, like, she's been feeling very ungrounded. And feel free to comment or share any of your own ways how you ground yourself, or anything that pops into your mind. I keep an eye on all of the comments as well. So she asked me, how do I know if I'm grounded or ungrounded? How do I know if I'm grounded or ungrounded? And this is one of the most important things to learn, because you can't ground yourself if you don't realize you're ungrounded. And the truth is, most people are walking around disconnected from their bodies, their breath, and their energetic center without even realizing it. So let's go deeper. When you're grounded, you feel present, you're aware of your body, you're in your breath, and you can focus. You might still have a lot going on in your life, but there's a steady hum underneath it all. You can feel your feet on the ground. You can sense your own energy as separate from the noise around you. Your nervous system is regulated. There's a calm clarity in your field, even if your day is busy. And being grounded doesn't mean you're always peaceful and still. It means you're anchored in yourself. You're not being yanked around by every little trigger or external emotion. Now let's contrast that with being ungrounded. When you're ungrounded, it often feels like you're floating above your body, or like your awareness is stuck in your head. Your thoughts might be spinning. You forget what you were just saying or doing. You feel disconnected from the present. And sometimes people describe it as feeling off, or like their energy scattered in 1,000 places. You might feel foggy or disoriented, lightheaded or dizzy, emotionally overstimulated, like you can't focus, drained after being around others, jumpy, reactive, or overwhelmed. You might feel restless in your body or unable to relax. And here is the key. Being ungrounded doesn't just show up mentally, it shows up emotionally and energetically too. And as an empath or intuitive, if you're ungrounded, you're more likely to absorb other people's energy. You might take on emotions that don't belong to you. You might feel other people's grief, anxiety, anger, and process it as if it were your own. And that's not just sensitivity. That's being energetically wide open without boundaries or roots. And you might not even realize it's happening until it's too late, until you're overwhelmed, overstimulated, or exhausted. So here's what I tell my students and clients all the time. If you're unsure whether you're grounded, you probably aren't. Because when you're grounded, you can feel the difference. It's like exhaling fully after holding your breath all day. It's coming home to your own body It's a shift from spinning in your mind to settling into your soul. The moment you feel the ground beneath your feet, physically or energetically, you know. So tune in with curiosity and ask yourself, can I feel my feet? Can I feel my breath without trying to control it? Am I fully in my body? Or am I hovering in my head? Is this emotion mine? Because even just checking in like this is powerful. Because the act of asking is a form of returning. You don't have to fix it in an instant. You just need to notice. And from that awareness, you can begin grounding again through breath, movement, nature, visualization, or ritual. And grounding is not a once-a-day checkbox, it's a relationship. And the more you nurture it, the more resilient, clear, and rooted you'll become, no matter what's happening around you. So I would encourage anyone who's watching it, whether live or on a replay, to prioritize grounding and make sure that you do it every day, not only when things go really, really bad and you definitely know you're feeling ungrounded, but incorporate it into your daily life, even if it is for a couple of minutes every day, and you will feel a huge notice. So I am going to talk now about the best ways to ground your energy. And it's very subjective. They might be actually the worst. So always choose whatever works for you. And if you don't like something, don't do it. But also, it's worth trying them out, maybe. Okay. So, what are the best ways to ground your energy quickly? And this is such a good question because sometimes you don't have 30 minutes to meditate, you're overwhelmed, overstimulated, or spiraling, and you need something right now that actually works. So let's talk about a few grounding techniques that are not only quick, but powerful and repeatable. You can use them whether you're heading into a session, coming out of a triggering conversation, or just feeling off. Number 1, root visualization. This is my personal go-to. It only takes 30 seconds and you can do it anywhere, eyes open or closed. I imagine roots growing from the soles of my feet or from the base of my spine, my root chakra. These roots move downward through the floor into the earth, through the layers of soil and rock, all the way down to the crystalline core of the planet, Mother Earth. And I see them wrapping gently around a glowing light in the Earth's center. Then I breathe in and imagine Earth energy rising through those roots into my body. It might feel like warmth, heaviness, or a steady calm. Sometimes it's a subtle shift, like finally hearing myself again after being surrounded by noise. And this visualization isn't just imagery, it's energetic, really. The earth has an actual frequency, and when we connect it intentionally, it brings us back into coherence with life. Number 2, breath and body awareness. Another quick and underrated technique is breath. Grounding can be as simple as placing one hand on your belly and one on your heart and taking a few slow, deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. And as you breathe, feel your body, feel your weight, press your feet gently into the floor and feel your spine straighten. And this isn't just breathing, this is commanding your nervous system to come out of fight or flight and into presence. And that's what grounding is, the return to presence. Number 3, touching nature or earth elements. If you can step outside, even for 1 minute, do it. Stand barefoot on the ground, sit under a tree, put your hands on the bark or in the soil, even leaning against a wall and imagining the stone or wood as part of the earth works. Nature is the ultimate grounding tool. Trees are grounded masters, water clears, dirt neutralizes static, stones hold ancient calm. So if you're inside, even holding a grounding crystal like hematite, black tourmaline, smoky quartz, or anything else, like this can really help. Or take a spoonful of sea salt and rub it between your palms or even your feet. These are small, tactile rituals that pull your spirit back into your skin. Number 4, engage the senses. One of my favorite quick methods is using the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 techniques, and there are so many of those techniques, but it's a sensory grounding exercise that I frequently do with my children. So the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique is actually realizing or concentrating on 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste or are grateful for. And this brings your awareness back from the mental spiral into the physical world. Number 5, speak it into being. Sometimes we just need to say, try affirmations like, I call my energy back to me now. I am safe. I am present. I am grounded. I release what isn't mine. I return to center. I root into the earth and rise in my truth. And when you speak it, especially out loud, your field responds. So what's the best way to ground quickly? Is the one that works for you in the moment. Some days it's root, some days it's breath, some days it's soul, dirt, or silence, but always, always, it's a return to your body, your breath, and the earth beneath you. And the more often you practice grounding, the faster and more automatic it becomes. Your body starts to remember what presence feels like. Your energy field learns the way back home. Another question that I've got here, I just put them all together. Can grounding help with anxiety or emotional overwhelm? Can grounding help with anxiety or emotional overwhelm? Yes, grounding can be one of the most powerful and immediate tools for navigating anxiety or emotional overload, especially if you're an empath, highly sensitive or intuitive, and here is why. When you're anxious or emotionally overwhelmed, what's actually happening is that your nervous system is dysregulated. Your energy rises up and out, your breath becomes shallow, your thoughts start spinning, and you might feel stuck in your head, racing with worry, or flooded with emotions that don't even feel like they belong to you. Your body doesn't feel like a safe place to be, so your energy leaves it. That's the core of being ungrounded. And that's where grounding becomes not just helpful, but essential, because grounding brings your energy back down, back into your feet, back into your breath, back into the safety and steadiness of the present moment. Let me explain this practically. When you intentionally connect with the earth, either through visualization, breath, nature, or touch, you're not just calming your mind, you're shifting your entire energetic state. You're moving out of fight or flight, where the body thinks it is in danger, and into a regulated state where your body feels safe again. And safety is what allows your nervous system to reset, your energy to settle, and your emotions to process rather than explode. So yes, Grounding helps with anxiety, but not because it fixes the anxiety. It helps because it creates space around it. It gives you a place to land while your emotions move through you. And let's say you have picked up on someone else's stress, or you're reacting to an intense conversation. Your body might be buzzing, your breath shallow, your mind on edge, and in that moment you can ground. You can pause, feel your feet, breathe, visualize roots, touch a tree, or imagine in your third eye if you're not close to, or you can't go out, or you're not part of the nature. Well, we're always part of the nature, but if you can't really go out at a given moment, hold a grounding crystal, repeat a calming affirmation. And these small actions are how you take your energy back. They are how you say to your body, it is okay now, we're safe, you can come home. And from that grounded place, you can begin to ask, is this emotion mine? Do I need to act or just breathe through it? And finally, what part of me needs support right now? Because grounding doesn't erase emotion, it contains it. It helps you hold the storm without being swept away by it. And the more often you ground, the less easily you will be overwhelmed by life or by other people's energy. So if you live with anxiety or feel emotionally flooded often, make grounding part of your daily energetic hygiene. Don't wait until you're overwhelmed. Make it your anchor practice. Because grounding won't take away your sensitivity, but it will help you feel strong, safe, and sovereign inside it. I hope it helps. Okay, I'll choose. Let me see what question do I want to answer. Okay. What does grounding do for psychic and mediumship work? Oh, I like that. I want to answer this one. What does grounding do for psychic and mediumship work? This is one of the most important things I teach, because grounding isn't just something nice to do before you start a session, it is essential. It's the foundation that supports your entire psychic and mediumship connection. So let's start with the energy mechanics. When you're doing psychic work or mediumship, you're raising your vibration, you're shifting your consciousness to tune into higher frequencies, whether that's the energy of someone's aura, future timelines, spirit guides, or loved ones who have passed on. But here's the part people often miss. The higher you go, the deeper you need to root. You cannot safely or clearly connect with spirit if your energy isn't grounded. Without that anchor to the earth, you can easily lose clarity during the session, start blending with your sitter's energy, pick up interference from other frequencies, feel drained, dizzy, or disoriented afterward, mistake your own thoughts for intuitive insight, over-identify with what spirit is showing you, and in some cases, open yourself to lower, denser energies you didn't mean to invite in. And I always say, it's like tuning a radio. You want a clear signal. If your grounding is weak, the signal gets fuzzy. You don't know if the message is from spirit, your own thoughts, or your client's emotional field. But when you're grounded, it's like your channel locks in. You also stay energetically sovereign. That means your field is strong, you're present, you're not absorbing your sitter's grief, you're not holding onto their trauma, you're reading it, but you're not merging with it. And even more than that, when you're grounded, you can finish a session and feel good. You don't walk away heavy or emotionally spun out. You feel clear, centered, and complete. And here's how it works for me personally. Before I ever connect with spirit, I ground. I imagine roots growing from my feet deep into the earth. I draw energy up into my solar plexus. Then I build out my protective layers from the grounded place. And only then do I open to receive. That way, I'm not just channeling from above, I'm channeling through my whole being, rooted in the body, aligned in the field, and protected from all sides. Grounding also helps after a reading. If you've ever felt drained, emotional, or open after a session, and I did so many times, you probably weren't fully grounded. You need to close that session the same way you close sacred space by coming back into the body, into the breath, into the now. You can imagine pulling your energy back down into your legs and feet, sending any residual energy back to the earth, and giving thanks for the work you have done. And grounding isn't just protection, it is power. It is how you bring the message from spirit through you and into the world. It's how your body holds the channel. It's how you stay strong, clear, and whole before, during, and after any energetic work. So, if you're developing your intuitive gifts or working professionally as a reader or healer, never skip the grounding because you're not just connecting to spirit, you're becoming a bridge, and every bridge needs strong support on both ends, heaven and earth. Okay, I also want to touch upon that. There's one question, and I've got a couple short ones. Okay, I'll do this one. Is grounding the same as shielding or protection? Is grounding the same as shielding or protection? This is such an important distinction, and one that often gets confused, especially when people are just beginning to work with energy. The short answer is no. Grounding is not the same as shielding, but they work beautifully together. So let's break it down. Grounding is about connection. It's the practice of bringing your energy down and anchoring it into the earth. It brings your awareness into the present moment, into your body, and into the steadiness of your physical form. Think of it as plugging yourself into the planet's energy system. The Earth has her own frequency, calm, slow, stable. And when you ground, you allow your nervous system to harmonize with that rhythm. It stabilizes you, it gives you clarity, it reclaims your energy. Grounding is what keeps you from floating off, from getting lost in other people's emotions, from spinning out into anxiety or overwhelm. It's your anchor. And shielding is about protection. Once you're grounded and in your body, shielding is what helps you stay protected while you move through the world. Shielding is the practice of consciously creating an energetic boundary around your field so that you're not constantly absorbing, merging with, or being impacted by external energies. It is how you filter out what's not yours. It is how you prevent energetic drains, leaks, or cords. It is how you say, this is my space and I get to decide what enters it. So while grounding connects you to the earth, shielding defines your energetic edge, your personal sacred container. And how they work together, I always recommend grounding first, then shielding, because if you try to shield when you're ungrounded, your energy field is already unstable. Your boundaries will wobble. You might imagine a bubble or a light around you, but if your energy is scattered, that protection won't hold. But when you ground first, when you center yourself in your own body and plug into the earth's field, you become steady, clear, present, and from that place, your shielding becomes far more powerful. And I've talked today about it, but you can call in Archangel Michael. You can set the intention that only energy aligned with love and truth may enter your field. You can visualize a golden bubble, a mirror shield, a cloak of light, whatever works for you. But know it is anchored when you ground yourself first, and then that protection is going to hold. So here's how I do it. I'm going to repeat for anyone who didn't watch the previous answer, well, the answer to the previous question. Here's how I do it. I begin by grounding through my solar plexus, seeing light enter and expand from that center point. I visualize roots connecting me to earth, then I move into protection. I layer golden light for divine safety, white light for purity and truth, a mirrored shield to reflect anything that isn't aligned, blue light for calm and clarity, and finally gray silver mist light to cloak myself from anything lower or draining. And each layer has purpose, but it only works because I've grounded first. So no, grounding and shielding are not the same, but together they are a complete energetic reset. Grounding says, I am home in myself. Shielding says, and I am safe to stay here. I love those questions. They're very useful. And it's so nice to be able to remind yourself about those practices. Thank you for those. Oh, I will answer some quick questions and then I have to go. Those won't take long. Someone asked me, how often should I ground? This is such a great question, and it comes up all the time from empaths, intuitives, and energy workers. People want to know, is grounding something I do once a day? Is it only for when I feel off? Or is it supposed to be constant? And my answer is, you ground as often as your energy needs it, which for most of us, especially if we're sensitive, psychic, or working with spirit, means daily and sometimes multiple times a day. Let me explain why. Grounding isn't just a tool you use when you're anxious or overwhelmed. It's not just for before a reading or after an intense conversation. It's part of your energetic hygiene, like brushing your teeth or showering. It clears, resets, and stabilizes your field. And just like your physical body needs daily maintenance, your energy body does too. Now, how often you ground depends on your environment, your work, your nervous system, and your natural sensitivity. And here are some real life cues that you probably need to ground. You feel overstimulated, scattered, or emotionally wobbly. You have finished a client session, healing or reading. You've been around a lot of people or intense energy. You are about to go live, speak, or open up spiritually. You have spent too much time online or in your head. You just feel off, floaty, and not quite in your body. And in those moments, even a minute or two of grounding can completely reset your field. It's not about perfection, it's about presence, and presence is a practice. So here's what I personally do. First thing in the morning, I ground before I even get out of bed. A few deep breaths, calling my energy back, roots into the earth, it sets the tone. And before every reading session or live, I always ground before I open my energy to others or spirit. It keeps the channel clean. After client work or big interactions, I ground again to come back to myself and clear residual energy. And before sleep, if needed, if I've absorbed too much, grounding helps me reset and rest. So you don't need to make it complicated. You don't need 30 minutes of ritual. You just need a moment of intention, a breath, and a return to the now. And the more often you ground, the easier it becomes. Your body will start to recognize, your energy will remember how it feels to be safe, clear, and present. So instead of asking how often, Maybe ask, how would my life feel if I made grounding a part of everything I do? Because when your energy is grounded, everything else becomes easier, your intuition, your boundaries, your emotional clarity, your spiritual connection. Grounding doesn't take time, it gives you time. It gives you space, breath, balance, and yourself. I hope it answers the question. I had a couple of quick ones. Did I have any more questions? I think I took notes from the previous live as well. There are a couple of short questions. Okay, they're fun. Okay, I can do them. They will take just 2-3 minutes. Let's do them and then I'll have to go. Okay, how do I know if I'm grounded or ungrounded? If you're grounded, you feel calm, clear, and present. If you're ungrounded, you feel scattered, overwhelmed, foggy, or floaty, like you're not fully in your body. If you can't feel your feet or your breath, that's your cue to ground. Feel like your energy is all over the place? What is grounding really? Grounding is the energetic practice of bringing your awareness back into your body and plugging your energy into the earth. It resets your system, clears energetic noise, and helps you feel steady, safe, and whole. I like those quick questions. It will be a nice recap for anyone whenever you need short answers to what I've been talking about. Can grounding help with emotional imbalance? Yes. Emotional overwhelm is often a sign your energy isn't anchored. Grounding calms your nervous system, helps you separate from other people's emotions, and brings you back to your true self. Why do psychic mediums need to ground? Because when you open to spirit, your energy rises. Without grounding, it's unstable. Grounding keeps you steady, clears the channel, and helps you receive messages without draining your energy. When you're spiraling, what's the fastest way to ground your energy? Breathe. Press your feet into the ground. Imagine roots growing into the earth. Inhale earth energy, exhale the static. It takes 30 seconds and your energy shifts immediately. Why do empaths need grounding? Because empaths pick up on everything. Without grounding, your field stays open and chaotic. When you ground, you stop absorbing and start holding your energy with clarity and strength. Those are fun. Can grounding help me stop absorbing energy? Absolutely. Grounding reclaims your field. It creates an energetic container so you don't take on other people's feelings. It's the first step to energetic boundaries. I feel like I'm being interviewed by my spirit team. Fun. Okay. What are signs that I'm ungrounded? Feeling spacey, clumsy, anxious, forgetful, or emotionally sensitive for no clear reason. If your energy feels wide open or reactive, grounding brings you back home to yourself. Should I ground before psychic or mediumship work? Always. Grounding keeps your energy clean and your connection to spirit strong. It helps you stay present, channel clearly, and feel rooted and restored, not depleted after a session. This is what grounding really feels like. How should I feel when I'm grounded? You feel calm, focused, and embodied. Your thoughts slow down, your body feels safe, you're no longer floating, you're here, present, whole. How can I ground quickly if I don't have time? Place one hand on your heart, one on your belly, take a slow breath, press your feet into the floor. Even just 1 minute of awareness brings your energy back to center. That's fun. Okay. Before you shield, do this. Should I ground before shielding? Yes, grounding stabilizes your field so your protection holds. Without grounding, shields are just mental ideas. With grounding, they become powerful, energetic boundaries. What happens if I do spiritual work ungrounded? You feel drained, unclear, or emotionally tangled. Ungrounded sessions blur your field. Grounding keeps you strong, focused, and energetically sovereign. This is the energy frequency of the Earth. What's the Schumann resonance and how does it relate to grounding? The Earth vibrates at around 7.83 Hz. That's the same frequency as our relaxed brain waves. When you ground, your body and energy begin to match that rhythm. It calms and balances everything. What's the difference between grounding and embodiment? Grounding connects you to the earth. Embodiment brings you fully into your physical body. You need both to stay present and empowered while working with energy or spirit. Can grounding balance the upper chakras? Yes. When your energy is stuck in your head or crown, grounding redistributes really it through the whole system. It helps you feel less overwhelmed and more integrated. 3 more. The earth wants to hold you. Why do I feel better after being in nature? Because nature is naturally grounding. Trees, soil, and water pulse with the earth's rhythm. When you connect with them, your energy calms, your breath deepens, and you come home to yourself. What crystal helps most with grounding? Black tourmaline. It's deeply grounding and protective. Hold it, place it on your root chakra, or carry it with you to anchor and strengthen your field. How can I ground indoors? Use your breath, intention, and imagination. Visualize roots from your feet into the earth, touch salt, hold crystals, or use water. Grounding is an energetic practice, not just a physical one. How often should I ground? Daily and more if needed. Ground before and after energy work, when you feel off, or anytime you lose presence. It's not extra, it's essential. Okay, thank you everyone for joining me, whether you're watching it live or on a replay. That was fun. I enjoyed those short questions as well. And if you've got any themes that you want me to explore, feel free to send me a DM and I'll cover those as well. Okay, I'm sending everyone lots of love and thank you for being here. It means the world to me. Lots of love to everyone. Bye.